Hi guys, how are you doing? I just want to get my stuff going like I normally would. All right, so a couple of days ago, I put up a community post basically stating how I was either going to do a video or do a live stream. It has definitely been a minute since I've done a live stream. Um, And I think the reason that I've turned to doing the videos and the recordings is because I don't get sidetracked then. Because let me tell you, I can get sidetracked and then everything just falls apart. So I'm sure that people understand that. So basically, you know, I haven't been saying too much, but I've been watching. A lot of people, have heard me say that before. I don't type too much, but I do listen as long as streams are left up, or if I get sent something, I'll listen to it. Um, but let me just say the title of this: Are people paying attention? Because I don't know if people just like show up and they go blank and they're just, typing away and, chatting away and stuff, and they don't listen to what people are saying. I don't do that. I'm a big listener. Okay. I find that that's better for me because I've said many of times, like, I don't do well with people that bullshit, that people that lie. Okay. I don't like that stuff. Like, if you're going to come on, you need to be straight up. You need to be honest, right? I think most people like honesty. However, on YouTube, like, you can be whoever, you can do whatever. I mean, it's crazy on here. But today, in my listenings and everything else that I do, there's some things that I want to talk about. Because if people aren't listening and people aren't paying attention, then I don't know what to say. Because there's definitely a lot of fuckery going on. A lot. Okay, so let's get started. Um, Before I really get into it, I just want to say, and I've said this in other videos I've done, but I'm gonna say it again because sometimes I get comments about things, asking where I am and stuff like that. And it's nice that people, I guess, acknowledge when somebody's not around. But for me personally, like I've said, I have a big problem with depression, okay? I don't hide that. I know some people, they don't like to talk about it, because people get judged and everything else. But I do. I suffer from major depression, and I got to deal with things the way that I got to deal with things. Because let me tell you about me, all right? I had to step away from YouTube because of where things were going the last few months, because I'm the kind of person, I don't play around. And the things that I was getting that were being sent to me, things that were being done to other people, and all this, like, I was getting pissed off, like really angry. Okay. I'm I felt it was best for me to just log off, because let me tell you, somebody starts doing some kind of fuck shit to me, I'm the kind of person, I will pull up to your house. All right. I will. And it's not going to be good, because in my mind, you got to leave that house sometime. All right. And if I'm coming, I'm going to make it worth it if I know I'm going to get in trouble. So the best thing for me to do and be an adult is to log off for a while, because I was just getting that pissed off about some things that were happening. Because again, like some of you guys, there's people I don't much care for on here, okay? But I do my best to be an adult. You can agree to disagree with people. I've always said that. always said that. I think since I've had my channel on YouTube, I've had that in my about section. You can agree to disagree with people. And then you got to tell yourself, like, this shit's just not worth it, right? Well, sometimes my anger can get pretty bad. All right. So the best thing for me to do at that time is just to log the hell off. And that's exactly what I did. Because I'm sorry, but this shit just, it's really not worth it. And sometimes my anger, I can tell myself that, but I just got to shut it down, because if I don't, who knows what's going to happen. And that's just facts. So, anyway, you know, the listening part of this, when you listen to people talking about, we'll start out easy here, about somebody else's looks. Now, we all know people talk about looks, and then somebody will fire back and they might talk about people's looks. For as long as I've been on YouTube, I used to always hear that when you start talking about looks, you basically lost the argument, right? I don't understand why somebody's looks is so important to somebody else, okay? Because I was always brought up and told that if somebody's going to make fun of you about the way you look, what your weight is, then they're insecure themselves, okay? You can't let this shit bother you. Seriously. Because a lot of this that goes on, this is all high school bullshit. It just is. And if people can't see through that, then I really don't know what to tell you. But talking about people's looks all the time is so childish to me. Like, I have to question if these people are even adults, like their maturity level. I just don't know. Okay. Like I said, though, when it's being done to you, you fire back. Do two wrongs make a right? No, they do not. But again, like I've said in my videos, nobody's going to sit back and take the bullshit. Nobody's going to sit back and be walked all over. All right. So how they choose to handle is how they choose to handle it. Me, on the other hand, I don't give a damn. I truly don't give a damn about that. And I'll tell you what, over, it's been some time now, being out and about, you see women all shapes and sizes, okay? And they are some confident ass people. They wear what they want. They don't care. And you can see they don't care. So why, here on a social media platform, YouTube, because it happens on other platforms, we all know this. That's all you hear. People talking about, oh, this person's ugly. This person's overweight. This person's obese. I mean, it's absolutely immature. And it needs to stop. Like, act your fucking ages. Seriously. What is wrong with people anymore? I really don't understand it. And these aren't like young teenage people doing this shit. All right. These are grown ass people. It just, I don't get it. I don't think I'll ever get it. But just know there's all kinds of women out there, all shapes and sizes. And guess what? They don't give a fuck. They just don't give a damn. And I feel it. Be who you're going to be. You don't got to be different from nobody. You don't got to change yourself. Now, if you want to feel better about yourself and you want to do something with yourself, that's one thing. But you don't got no right to be talking about nobody else. And that's a fact. Now, I'm back here, a couple of weeks ago. I was watching some things and received some things over what was going on with Bombshell, with her eviction that was to be taking place and everything else. Again, I have to ask, why does anybody care about what's happening with her? You know what I mean? Like getting into her business and stuff like that. I really don't understand that. And I've said this before too. Whether I like somebody or I don't like somebody, I would never want to see somebody on the street, somebody homeless. Like, come on now. That's just some dirty down shit. And then hearing that, there are people who are going to have a party and shit. I mean, really? Would you want somebody doing that shit to you? I mean, again, we're back to are we all grown adults or what? Because that's some hateful shit right there. All right. You wanting to see somebody on the street. Now, I mentioned this in videos before when, things were brought up about that. And people can say all day long that, oh, that was never said and this and that bullshit. Okay. Because I got screenshots on that. Like people were wishing for her to be homeless. But as people can see, that did not happen. Okay. If anything, people should be able to tell Bombshell has a very good following. She has a backing from her people. And if people can't see that, then I truly don't know what to say. I know people say a lot of things about her, but at the end of the day, she has her support. I've said this before, okay? And just to want to see somebody on the street, I just don't know what's wrong with somebody. That's not something that you should wish for anybody. Because let's just be for real here, okay? Most people, they're a paycheck or two away from being on the streets because people are having a hard time. And I don't think that shit is funny in the least bit. I truly don't. And you know what? If you can help somebody, then you help somebody. That's how I see it. You know, be kind to people. There's no reason. Yes, I know it's going to be, well, this happened before and this happened before. Okay. Again, I'm not like other people. I believe people's allowed to have an opinion, right? But you got to question too, why did this issue happen? You know? And I think a lot of people know that answer because, again, Bombshell's channel has gone down several times. All right. I'm being straight up. It did go down several times. People have their thoughts and their feelings where she could get money elsewhere, whatever. Okay. Again, I know that Bomb goes to Rumble because she says it. I still have not made an account to go over there. At some point, I probably will have to, but for now, I still have not done it. But even so, nobody knows what somebody's making, you know? So I'm glad she got to keep her roof over her head for her and her dogs because again, no matter what, I wouldn't want to see nobody on the street. And I feel like you're a really cruel person if that's something that you want to see happen to somebody just because you don't like them. And listen, okay, you don't like somebody, but you don't really know somebody because this is YouTube, right? You think you know, but you don't because you're not meeting these people. You're not kicking it with these people. You're getting to see whatever's being put onto YouTube. Think about that. Straight up, think about that. Because some of the shit that people say, just they have so much hatred. Like, and I said it before, I think your hatred clouds your judgment. I really do. So, glad to see that everything's okay that way. But people should straight up be ashamed that they wanted to see this woman on the street, okay? Because that's just wrong. It's wrong. Also, I would like to talk about this because I've heard this and I've seen this in chats as well. Does it really matter what somebody has? Does it really matter where somebody lives? I mean, seriously. I don't, me personally, I don't care if somebody lives in a shed, in a trailer, in an apartment, in a house, wherever they live, you got to be thankful. Thankful you got a roof over your head, right? Not everybody wants to live in a house. I do. And let me just tell you, okay? It's expensive AF. You know, like I'm getting ready to have a new roof put on my house and one of my picture windows being done. I'm not even going to get into how much that costs. All right. But let me tell you, it's well over 20 some thousand into the $30,000 range. Okay. This shit ain't cheap. So some people don't want that. But again, wherever somebody lives, why does anybody care about that? Tell you what, if I had to live in a trailer or in a small apartment or a shed, I would. Why? Because I would be thankful enough I had a roof over my head and that I could pay my bills. I mean, I don't fucking get this shit. Everybody is so judgmental on this platform, and I don't get it. I really don't. Because if people would worry more about themselves than what's going on with somebody else, things would be better off, in my opinion, of course. But that's just my opinion. Again, we all have opinion. We all have opinions. That's the way it is. So the next thing, the whole clicks and views thing. Oh, this person's doing this for clicks and views. This person's doing this for clicks and views. Come on, you guys. This is YouTube. People are always going to do shit for clicks and views. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. But what seems to be funny to me is that people are watching views so closely. Like, oh, this person has 500. This person has 900. This person has 200. Why does anybody fucking care about that? Why does that matter? Because you know something? If those 200 people, 50 people, 30 people, I don't care what it is, they're there for that person, right? Because again, you don't know who's always watching you. There's some people that are always watching that do dirty shit to people. And then somebody else gets blamed for it because you're into it with somebody else. Could it possibly be? It could, but you never know. But why do the numbers matter so much in somebody's channel? Seriously, why do they matter? There's many people that come on that just like to talk and kick it with their people. They're not watching the whole number thing, okay? Worry about your own channels and stop worrying about somebody else's. I think that it's absolutely absurd. I truly do. And the jealousy on this platform is disgusting. And if I can see it, I know other people can see it. People need to stop and worry about what's going on with you and your own channel. Why worry about somebody else's channel? And while we're talking about this, it's been a little bit since I've received anything said, maybe a few weeks. But I got some screenshots about people talking about, once again, the money that I've given in super chats, especially to Bombshell. Again, my money's not anybody's business. It's really not. And all I'm going to say about this, because in the comments it was, give that money to somebody else. Stop giving it to her. I don't come on to YouTube out of my entire time that I've ever had my channel and come on and talk about who I give money to, who I don't give money to. What I'm going to say right now is YouTube's not the only place that I've ever given super chats to. The reason I don't do PayPal, Cash App, Venmo is because, laugh all you want, but I don't got none of those pay options, okay? I got my credit cards, I got my banking account cards, and that's it. I don't got none of those other avenues of pay. So when you see a super chat from me, because if I did have those pay apps, right, I wouldn't be doing super chats. I would just send it because then nobody can see it, but I stick with Super Chat. I don't do none of the other stuff. But just so you know, I do give to other places, and I'm going to leave it at that. All right? I do what I can do to help others, and I don't brag about it because there's no reason to do that. Not at all. I don't come on here and try to make somebody else feel bad about something or whatever. People have it hard enough in life. Like, if people are paying attention and looking around, things aren't easy. They're just not. They're harder now, probably, than they've ever been. And instead of trying to give somebody a step up and do something kind, all you see on here is some bullshit and hateful stuff. And it's wrong. It's wrong, in my opinion. And I don't like it. So there's that. I want to understand why all this real life stuff keeps happening. Because I see it being done, like I hear it being done to other people. And then when it's done back to them or whatever, all hell breaks loose. And I have to say, because I put it in a community post, when has it ever been okay to go at subscribers, be doxing subscribers? I don't understand that. That was never acceptable. Not ever. It just seems like anything goes now. There's absolutely no rules. And people can just do all the fucked up shit they want to. Because I'm not down with all that shit. Like, people on here really need to reevaluate. Seriously. Because this shit is not cool in any way, shape, or form. It's just not. And look, some of the things that I've been watching with people, I'm starting to really wonder, what this is all truly about for them. You've really got some mentally unstable people on this platform. And to keep poking at people and poking and poking and poking, it might not have happened yet that anybody knows of or whatever. But listen, when somebody's already having trouble, you don't know what it can take for them to go over the edge. Because again, none of us know what somebody else is going through. Okay? And to keep pushing at somebody, poking at them, all for fun. It seems like it's truly like for clicks and views. I'm sorry, but I'm not down with that because I don't want to see nobody getting in trouble or going over the edge. Again, that's why I told you I logged the fuck off because I know how angry I can get. So that's what I do. But you just have people that keep going and going and going on here. People's personal lives are just that. It's their business. Yeah, you can say, hey, when people come onto YouTube and they talk about their life, that's when it's open, for the criticism and, people to talk about and this and that. Well, you know what? I've always said, and I'll stand by this, talking about people's children. Rather, people can have children. It seems to go both ways on here. That shit's not funny to me. Okay. And it gets under my skin when I start hearing people talk about somebody not being able to have a child or the opposite of talking about somebody's children or their child or whatever. There's just no reason for it. But the bottom line is if you don't want your life talked about, you can't bring it to YouTube in any way, shape, or form because somebody's always going to be digging. I think if people haven't realized that by now, I don't know. I don't know what they're watching, what they're listening to, or if they're paying attention. I don't. But There's some real crazy shit happening on this platform. And I just wonder if people really do have their eyes open or they don't. Because the people that you think are your friends, right? They may not be your friends. You just don't know what people are up to on this platform. And I keep my circle so small. I've said this before. I do have a very good friend of mine on here that I absolutely just think the world of. And I'm so proud of this person. I'm so proud of this person because they're definitely changed from who they were when I first met them. And they don't let nobody shit on them. And on YouTube, you can't. And you shouldn't be letting nobody shit on you in life either. You know, you gotta stand up for yourself and shit. But I don't get it on this platform no more. You got your fucking fake people. You got people that flip flopping around this way, that way, everywhere. I just don't do that. I do not do well with fake people. I never have. But I'm probably paying closer attention now than maybe I ever have. And I see a lot of bullshit on here and a lot of fake ass people. So if you guys know what's good for you, you better watch yourself. And I was always told I don't do the Discord stuff or none of that. But I was always told that if I ever did, whatever you say in there, you better be prepared for it to come out onto the YouTube streets. So if you're not comfortable with putting it in there, then don't say it. I've never been in, but it's just the point. When I go in somebody's chat, if I do type or whatever, that's it. I say what I say and I stand by what I say. So, I'm not being that fake ass person saying one thing, doing another, and this and that. Are there some things that, I have thoughts and feelings about? Maybe I just haven't said yet? Absolutely, there is. And you just never know when I'm going to sound off about it. That's it. Because I don't follow a crowd. I do what I want to do. Okay? I'm not about that. So there's that part of it anyway. There's a lot of things that I wanted to talk about on here today. And I figured I would do so much today and then I'm going to do some another time. Because believe it or not, it takes me a lot for me to even want to hit the record button. And it's even harder for me to hit the go live button. That's what I'm saying. People's lives aren't. People have issues in life. And if you don't and your life is so perfect, then hey, I'm happy for you. Okay. But not everybody's is. And people still have struggles. So I just don't hide mine. I really hope that people start opening their eyes. Because, like when I started off with the whole weight thing and the look shaming and everything else, pay attention to the people talking about this shit, right? Because they do it in chats, right? Is everybody in that chat skinny? Is everybody in that chat feel like, they're so secure with themselves? So if they think this about someone else, do they think this about you? Or no, you're good because you're in their channel. You kick it in there, you talk to these people. Come on, man. Pay attention. Pay attention to what people are doing. Because don't think if they're doing this to someone else that they couldn't do this to you. And that's a straight up fact. So if people aren't paying attention, I really don't know what to say. Because there's a whole mess of shit. A whole mess of shit going on these YouTube streets. And it's really fucked up. It really is. All right. Well, I got through the first part of what I wanted to talk about. That way, these videos, they're not too long, because that's the last thing I want to do. But just remember, being kind doesn't cost anything. Of course, there's going to be people you don't like, but there's no reason to do the things that are being done and to be so hateful and nasty, because nobody knows what the next person's going through. Nobody does. And I don't want to see anybody ever get pushed over the edge. I don't. Because, like I said before, it can easily be done on social media. It's nasty out here. And before I go, I just want to say I pray for a lot of people on this platform. People can make fun of that. They can make fun of me for it. I don't really give a shit. When I started my channel, people knew that I prayed. And it's funny because when all that was going on, it would be said, oh, this is fluff, or, if you prayed for people, you're boring, all this bullshit. If you go back to my early videos, yeah, well, lives actually, because I did a lot of lives. I enjoyed talking to people. I truly, really enjoyed it. And now I struggle with it. So, yeah. I hope everyone has a great day. I really do need to get on and do a live because I do like talking to people. I don't know. I just don't know right now. But please, please be careful out in this heat. It is nasty out. Thank God for central air here. I feel so, my heart feels for the people that don't, because it's nasty. Stay hydrated and be safe, guys. Everyone just be safe, because there's a lot of craziness going on. Until I talk to you again, take care, everybody, okay? Talk to you later.